I'd like to take the opportunity this time to introduce the AMA president, Bob Brown, and give him the mic for the stage. Bob?
Today we're going to present the Hall of Fame Award to a gentleman that is most deserving. Jim, would you like to handle it from here, please?
I'd love to, sir. Thank you very much. The Hall of Fame program is a little bit cumbersome. You have to work hard to put together a lengthy narrative for the nomination. You have to get it in before the nominations, before the committee for the Hall of Fame meets, and then the Hall of Fame committee makes their decision, sends that to the Executive Council for approval, and then they hold it till they have a release date, and then they release the names so that the nominees can be informed, and then they select a time to do the presentation. I wanted to do something different this year. I had a nominee in mind, and I didn't want him to know that he was nominated or know that he was going to be presented because he was a recipient of the Hall of Fame. It's been very hard. Over a year's worth of work went into this to try to make sure that we got it done and that he got approved. And so I hope that it comes as a surprise to him. But if you would join me on the stage, Rich, I would love it. Now, we had to do some secretive stuff because his name was supposed to appear with everybody else's, but we didn't want him to know. So somehow his name fell off of the document after the EC approved it, and it will obviously go back on the document today. Join me up here, sir. So what I want to do real quick before I do the presentation is give you a little background of why I felt that Rich should be a recipient of or be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's seldom that a man reaches the peak and becomes looked at as the expert and at the height of his profession. Rich did that. It's even less often that a person becomes the expert and the recognized person in their avocation, and Rich has done that. And I wanted that to be recognized. Rich served his country. He retired as a lieutenant colonel in the Army. He was a helicopter pilot and did a lot of brave and good things for our country. He worked with the Arizona law enforcement as a helicopter pilot, and he's worked for years for us in AMA as the District 10 Vice President for 15 or 16 years. He started many new programs that you're all experiencing today. One of those would be the disaster relief program for clubs, and he was the author and a prime mover in that happening. But when it came time for us to start defending model aviation with the FAA, there was a clear one person suitable to do that. And he voluntarily stepped down from being on the board of directors for the AMA so that he could step into the job of dealing day to day with the FAA on these issues. Real soon after he started doing that, I joined his work group, and I've been able to personally observe what he does almost every day. I've been to meetings with him in Washington, D.C. when we went to the FAA's office with our hands out asking for things. We've met with the FAA twice out here in Ontario, once in San Antonio. We got the law published, which was a great deal of his effort to do so, which allows us to be now not going in with our hands open, but on a level playing field, asking for things. And so that's significant. The reason that I think we're going to be able to enjoy aviation in the future is because Rich Hanson has taken that bull by the horns and is going to wrestle it to death. I could not have spent the time. I've watched him in meetings bite his tongue. I expected blood to run out of his mouth because there were times when he wanted to erupt, but for the meeting to go on and be proper, he had to maintain his composure. I know of no greater person that in my tenure with the AMA and the efforts that they put forward for us for the future of model aviation and the future of AMA. So, you know, Rich, I salute you for your service to our country as a great American. I applaud you for your efforts as a modeler, and I thank you for your friendship. Now, everybody who gets a Hall of Fame award gets this same plaque. It has the same words on it. Says he's hereby inducted in membership in the Model Aviation Hall of Fame. Such a high honor is being accorded in due recognition of distinguished achievement and meritorious service of outstanding significance, which have furthered the interest of model aviation. Folks, I present to you the latest inductee.
I'm rarely at a loss for words, but I got to be perfectly honest with you. I don't really know how to respond to this. I'm so deeply honored. I just want to thank everyone for the support, for the understanding, and for the commitment to this hobby. You know, aviation has been my love since I was a young kid, looking up at airplanes and building model airplanes. I developed a career of over 40 years as a professional aviator, but model aviation has always been my passion. It's always been my advocation. And I'm a strong believer of giving back to your community when the community has given a lot to you, which this hobby has given me pleasure, comfort, companionship, fellowship for years. And I'm just honored to have the opportunity to give back. Thank you.
Rich, I know I personally thank you, and I know that I speak for 167,000 members of the Academy that thank you. Thank you, everyone.